The wind whipped Elara's cloak around her as she stood on the precipice, the chasm yawning below. Dracon's fortress sneered. For weeks, the fearsome dragon, Ignis, had terrorized the valley, his fiery breath scorching the fields and turning villages to ash. Sir Gareth, the bravest knight in the kingdom, had attempted to slay the beast, but he'd returned, defeated and scarred. Now, it was up to Elara, a humble healer known only for her skill with herbs and poultices, not steel and shield. Everyone said it was suicide. They whispered that Ignis was invincible, a creature of pure fire and fury. Elara, however, saw something different. She saw weakness in his arrogance, a vulnerability in his fiery bravado. While others focused on his size and strength, she focused on his weaknesses. She had spent weeks studying his patterns, observing his habits, analyzing his movements. She knew when he slept, when he hunted, when he was most vulnerable. Instead of armor and a sword, Elara carried a satchel filled with rare herbs, carefully gathered and painstakingly ground into potent powders. Her weapons weren't steel, but the carefully brewed concoctions designed to disrupt Ignis's fire-breathing ability and weaken his scales. She knew that her only chance was to exploit his weaknesses, to attack where he was most vulnerable. The others may have seen an invincible dragon, but Elara saw an opportunity to utilize her unique skills. Under the cover of darkness, Elara scaled the treacherous cliffs, her heart pounding a rhythm against her ribs. She reached Ignis's lair, a cavern that reeked of sulfur and smoke. The dragon slept, a mountain of scales and fire, his chest rising and falling with slow, heavy breaths. Elara moved with the grace of a shadow, her actions guided by weeks of observation and planning. She sprinkled her first concoction, a sleep-inducing powder, near his nostrils. Then, with practiced hands, she applied a second, a viscous paste to his scales, designed to weaken their fire resistance. As the powders took effect, Ignis stirred, his roars echoing through the cavern. But his fire was weak, sputtering and ineffective, its intensity significantly diminished. Elara moved quickly, using her final concoction, a potent sedative, to completely subdue the beast. It wasn't a glorious battle, but it was effective. She had overcome the seemingly invincible Ignis, not with brute force, but with knowledge, preparation, and unwavering determination. News of Elara's triumph spread like wildfire. The valley rejoiced, celebrating the quiet healer who had defeated a dragon, not with a sword, but with her intellect and her faith in her own abilities. Elara, however, remained humble, knowing that true strength wasn't about size or weapons, but about understanding, preparation, and the courage to believe in oneself, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds.